All right, there I am. How's everybody doing tonight? Want this package. We'll open it up in a little bit. All right. Good evening. All right. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Nice to see you. So, progress was made today. A little bit, anyway. The I'm one ring away, it goes right there, from having a 2x2 jelly cube, right? And if you flip it over and hold the bottom, right, and then you wiggle it around like you would a regular jelly cube, it's got a decent, let me fix the camera on this. It's got a decent wiggle to it. So hopefully as we add more, that wiggle will get more defined. But working on this ring here for right now, and I think it's working. Got a long way to go. I am doing okay. Getting some work done. Why do I have shadows? Do I always have shadows? I guess I do. Maybe because this is up. Let's turn this down a little bit. How's that? Can you still see my pretty face? All right, for anyone wondering what's going on, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. Like, I keep using this example. I need to grab a different example. Like this chainmail print puppy hoodie. Right? It's got a place for leash. It's got a pocket. This one's a beta print, a beta test product, so, or a beta. It's not listed on the store yet, but I have a bunch of other stuff for humans on there. Whoa, I almost knocked over my water. The lighting looks normal to you? Okay. That's good. So, I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. It's my bread and butter. And I make chainmail. All kinds of stuff. From large jelly cubes like this. Right? That are very, very jelly. To sculptural items like this. To, I don't know, what else? Dice bags. We got dice bags. This isn't done. This is a titanium one. I still got to anodize it. And jewelry. So that's what I do. Lots of people in the live right now. Yeah, we got a decent amount. So, right now I'm working on a sculptural jelly cube. Right? So, this is a jelly cube. And this has 14 by 14 by 14 rows on each side. This is also a jelly cube, and it's almost a 2 by 2 by 2. And I'm making each individual ring and adding it to this, and it's going to look cool when it's done. Cooler. It already looks cool. It's ridiculous. Can you see my ring? Go, go, Power Rangers. It was a 200 a minute ago. 14 by 14 by 14 by 14 by 14, yeah. Speaking of rings, I did the dishes. I left my wedding ring upstairs. Anyway. So, how's everybody doing tonight? That's who I am. That's what I do. And I sit and stream and make chainmail and talk to people and walk people through getting started making chainmail, or where to find artists who make chainmail. And I love you too, babe. You know, it's a thing. My favorite thing about streaming is someone popping in and going, "Oh, I didn't know you could make that at home. I want to do that." And then I get to show them how to get started. Hey Barb, how you doing? For anyone watching, if you see me responding to comments that like aren't appearing on TikTok, it's because I'm streaming on X, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all right now on my computer. Follow along to help me get to 10,000 people so that I can focus solely on the computer and I'm not going back and forth between streams. The production quality is a little better over here too. You downloaded your app and it's amazing? Oh, awesome. I hope you find it useful. Deadpool Scan, how you doing? Yeah, the app is... I need to sit down and do some work on it because there's some stuff that has to be added. An AWG, SWG conversion chart. A couple of artists. I need to add the Scale Mail Designer website. I want to add the Jelly Cube calculator. Barb's doing okay? You're doing okay? That's good to hear. I am doing all right. Making some cool stuff. Got my sculptural jelly cube over here going on. I'm making each ring, and I'm going to try and get to a 3x3 ring jelly cube. And it kind of jellies already. So we are 20 rings in, only 75 more to go. Ups and ups. It was a completely unnecessary project I didn't need to start, but it started, so is what it is. I was doing the math, and I went looking for supplies. And I've ordered the rings to make this into a 3x3 ring cube, right? It's got 95 rings in it. I have probably 28 rings worth of supplies on hand. And so I needed to order some more to make it, to get to 95 rings total. But that is a 3x3 ring, a row rather, cube. There's not a lot of definition, right? So with jelly cubes, the more rows you add on a jelly cube, right, the more fun they are, and the more like just jelly they are, right? Thank you for the follow, appreciate you. So because this is already going to be such a large cube, right? It looks like there's going to be a little wiggle to it, but this is just a 2x2, so there's not a lot. So I had enough supplies on hand to make a 2x2 ring cube, and I was like, that's not big enough, so let's be obnoxious and make it a 3x3 row cube. And I got the supplies ordered for that, and they're on the way, right? That was manageable. That's doable. It's within reason. It is a 17,000 ring project, right? Each ring is 176 rings. There are 95 rings totals. 95 times 176 is 16,700 rings, right? So then I was like, well, if I can do a 3x3 ring cube, if I can make 95 rings, surely I can do a 4x4, right? Where each side has 4 rows. And there are 249 rings in a 4x4 cube. And in a 5x5 cube, there's 540 something. Anyway, I'd have to go and look it up. But, hey, Capturing Essence, how you doing? Darador, how you doing? Heck yeah, chainmail. Yes. So in order to... First off, the supplier, the Ring Lord, doesn't have the rings on hand for me to order to even get to a 4x4x4 cube, right? Much less a 5x5x5 cube. But the point of me telling you all this is that in order to get to a 4x4 ring cube, right, I would need 45 bags of rings, right? To get to a 5x5x5 ring cube, I would need 266 bags of rings from my supplier to make that large of a jelly cube, right? And that is, it was $2,000, 266 bags, and the total was 96,000 rings. So if they had the supplies on hand, I might have ordered the rings, at least for a 4x4. But they didn't have enough for me to order anything else. I think I cleared them out with my order the other day. Prepping rings to make a series of asymmetrical Trizentine Romanov pieces. Right on. Very cool, very cool. If you guys aren't following Capturing Essence, you should do so. Very cool. Makes awesome stuff. If you need, you do custom work, right? You have stuff made and you do custom work. So if you're looking for chainmail, check them out. So I spent the day adding rings to this cube and just trying to get through this project. I knew I wasn't going to be able to sit down and focus on anything serious because of the solar eclipse today. That was fun. Was anyone in totality? You do more jewelry style pieces and you got stuff available? Right on. So yeah, follow Capturing Essence. Makes good stuff. Highly recommended. My nephew was in totality. I guess my sister's family was down with her in-laws and got to see it. But my nephew posted a video of it in all the darkness. Pretty cool. We lost a little bit of light here. I went to the gas station to grab the solar eclipse glasses and they were sold out. They had like several boxes full yesterday, so I should have grabbed them yesterday. So what we did is I've got like some Shade 3 welders sunglasses, and then we had my clip-on sunglasses and Renee's sunglasses, and we just layered them up and looked at it that way, and you could kind of see it without bothering your eyes too much. But my neighbor brought over a pair of the eclipse glasses, and we got a good look at it. Pretty cool. I didn't see anyone go up in the rapture. I don't think the world has ended, and I haven't heard any reports of large amounts of missing people. So outside of my biggest concern, right, was everybody was talking about, oh, it's the apocalyptic eclipse and the world's ending and yada, 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 yada. Yeah, the eclipse happened, the moon blocked out the sun, but the biggest threat to anyone, the highest area of concern, is people manifesting crazy stuff happening, right? And I haven't seen any news reports or anything, but I wasn't looking either, of any type of significant event happening, but I'm sure my sister got a flat tire in her RV on the way back home, so I'm sure some people had a good old time. We'll see. But yeah. So I did get a package today from the Ring Lord. And I haven't opened it yet. I'm not gonna show you my address, but it's unopened. I will do this off screen. Yeah, come here, you. There. All right. Okay. All right, we got some green rings, and they match Okay, that's interesting. They are green, that is for sure. We got some black rings, and I think that's all I ordered. Oh, what is this? Ooh. We got some square stainless. The wire used to make the rings is square. This is 20 gauge 3/16, makes a nice full Persian. What else did I order? Alright, we'll keep that in there. And this is 16 gauge 3/8. Should also make a nice full Persian. Square wire stainless, so. But I find it interesting, okay? So, for the Finnegan's Wake flag, where's that bag? Here it is. I ordered these green rings a long time ago, trying to match the Finnegan's Wake flag. And these are shinier and a brighter green than what I have on the Finnegan's Wake flag. And all the greens are not, like none of the green matches on that flag. I got all the yellow matching, I got everything outlined in black, all the silver matches, right? But the green is just a mishmash of multiple orders from different batches of rings. But this green, these are the same shade of green. That's crazy. And I ordered these years ago. So maybe their process has improved, which is good. We'll just throw those in there. So, and we got some black anodized aluminum rings to finish the outline and all the curtain rod loops at the top. People are driving the wrong way on Major Highway in Austin. How do you do that? Yeah. Well, it's Austin. I liked Dallas, San Antonio, and parts of Houston. I was not a fan of Austin. Oh. I would move back to San Antonio, but if I ever move back to Texas, I want to go to Dallas. Just because it's a little hot in San Antonio, and it's just a skosh cooler in Dallas. But I do miss Texas. I do miss Texas a lot. It is starting to turn springtime here. There are dandelions in the yard. So I need to finish my saddlebag project so that I can go ride. So tomorrow, kids should be at school, wife should be at work, and there's no solar eclipse or anything to pull me away from putting 6-7 hours on putting my saddlebag together. So that won't give me enough time to finish it, but that's enough time to get a large portion of it done. So it is 1/3 of the way laced. All I have to do is finish lacing it around the edge, right? The chainmail to the leather of the saddlebag, right? And then I'm going to have to add some chainmail to the top of the saddlebag because I know the first one I did didn't quite fit when I had done it. And so I'm going to have to add some rings to it to get it to fit and everything. So that'll take me some time too. But I want to finish. I'm going to get this to a 2x2x2 cube, and then I'll go work on the saddlebag. We'll work on the Finnegan's Wake flag on stream, and all 3 of these projects should be done soon. Zoe, where do you get materials from? There are a multitude of suppliers. These are from the Ring Lord. These are from chain-reaction.ca, Chain Reaction Canada. Do I have any other suppliers here? Those 2, right? But there's about 12 different suppliers. One old supplier, two youthful but aging suppliers, and then several new suppliers. So if you want a list of all of the suppliers that I'm aware of right now, except for one based in Australia who I haven't spoken with yet, if you go to my link tree, you can download the Mailworks app, and inside the app is a list of suppliers you can go check out. There's also a listing of where to find tutorials, where to find people that make chainmail online, and the groups they hang out in. And I'm just going to keep adding to the app as many resources as I can for people. It's free. It does have a link to my website. And other than that, you don't have to buy anything. It would help if you do, but the app is just a free resource. So it's not perfect, but as long as it helps people, I'm happy with it. So that's where I would start. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. And then if you have any more questions, I'm usually here 8:30 to 10 Central Standard Time. I got started a little early tonight. And just because I wasn't doing anything else. It's like, all right, let me get started. Let me entertain myself at my viewers' expense. So, yeah, if you have any questions, I'm usually here. I'm on every platform under the same name. And feel free to ask questions. And if I don't know, I can point you in the right direction. Pertaining to chainmail. Ask me questions pertaining to chainmail. Let me make that clear. Between this and nursing, I don't know anything else. One of I don't want to call him an elder chainmail artist, but I think he's just a couple years older than me. And he's probably more knowledgeable and more studied in chainmail specifically. He posted okay, so you know how people use colanders to look at the eclipse today? So you hold the colander over the flat piece of paper or something, and you can see the moon pass over in front of the sun. Well, he had his chainmail out, and he was watching the eclipse through his chainmail. And normally when you get shadow of a chainmail, there's like not a lot of light passing through it. It just looks like a messy block. But with the eclipse going on, the shadow of his chainmail actually looked like chainmail. It was pretty cool. So that was the highlight of my day. All right. So what else? How many units do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, hey. Right on target here. 21. So the weave used to make this is called Sandwyrm, or B8FP. And the FP stands for full Persian. I don't know what the B8 stands for, but that's how it's listed on Mail Artisans International League website. And what it is a unit, or is a chain of full Persian, right? That's just the name of this weave. And on the outside is essentially box weave. Box weave is just another weave that goes... You have one unit of box weave going through each unit of full Persian, right? All the way around. And it makes this cool effect, right? A form of, is that full Persian you're working on right now? Yeah. Yep, it's full Persian that I'm working on right now. And then you go back around the outside with box weave, and then weave it into your cube. So, and I was shooting for a more rigid weave when I started this, because I want to make a Ringception dragon scale pine cone. Right? There's these little tiny dragon scale pine cones you can make, and I want to do the same thing, but where each ring is a weave of chainmail, like I'm doing with this cube here. So I'll get to that one though at some point. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So the pine cone became a project for another day. I think it'll be pretty cool. But I got to make it. So I got to figure out, you know, I don't have my little sculpture over here. I've been making these like chainmail sculptures for the last couple of months. You're tired? Want to make me call sleepy? Definitely didn't just accidentally fall asleep. Nice. But things like this is actually matches my logo up here, right? I don't know if you can tell. My logo is a square of Byzantine, right? And it looks circular, but that's what this is. It's Byzantine chains made into a Byzantine chain formed into a square, right? So I've been making stuff like this for a while, and the ideas in my head just keep getting bigger and bigger. And this was a fluke. I didn't even mean to start this at all. But I started making this sandworm chain, and I realized quickly it wasn't going to work for the dragon scale pine cone that I had going. And so I just started making a cube. I was like, this looks about the right ring size for a cube. You want to learn how to do dragon scale? It can be a pain. Dragon scale and the half Persians are probably half Persian 3-in-1 and half Persian 4-in-1 are like, they're a little tricky to get started. But once it clicks, man, is it a great weave. I don't have any. I have one large dragon scale piece, and that's a bottle wrap I did. Oh, not dragon scale. You want to do weaving with scales? Right on. Yep. Scales are fun. They're just not my thing. Right? Like, I very much often like the look of a scale piece someone has done. You know how to do... Okay. I got you, Barb. I often like the look of how people utilize their scales. I don't have anything against them. I just don't like putting them together. And I have 2 bins full of scales over there that I have to put together as part of the getting rid of all... as part of finishing up all the projects in the basement. Right? Which is what I'm working on right now. No, I got you, Barb. You're good. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think. But yeah, I've got some old Ring Lord scales and split rings. And I think I'm going to toss the split rings that I have and try and figure out something else for them, because the split rings that I have they're not quite right. Like, they might be the right size, but when you open them with the recommended pliers, Do I have those over here? I got them here. These are pliers that you use to open split rings. They got this tooth on them. A split ring is like a key ring, right? So you open up the key ring and then weave it through the scales. And it's a horrendously tedious process. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking at what I'm doing now, and you're like, how does it get any more tedious than making the rings to make a jelly cube, right? I know. Trust me, scales are, with split rings, the split rings that I have, I think that there's something just off about them, so I might just throw all the split rings I have away and find an alternative solution. Like maybe some really nice flush split rings from a higher end manufacturer. I don't know. You found you really like scales? Good, good. This hobby definitely isn't consuming you. Yeah. No, I get it. I get edgy if I don't work on stuff. I have a hard time sitting down and watching a movie and relaxing if I don't have something in my hands. It's like, I like video games. I played Tears of the Kingdom for like 3 months straight last year. But before I got Tears of the Kingdom, I bought a PS5. And I got the PlayStation Plus package. And I downloaded one game and I played it for like a week or something. And then I didn't touch it ever since. It's literally just a machine that I have for, what do you call it? Watching Netflix on now. If you throw them away, do you think you'd be willing to donate them to you? If I decide to throw them away, I will donate them to somebody. You, since you asked, but like, yes, I would be willing to send them to somebody. I don't know what you're going to use them for, but if you want to try and use them for scales, be my guest. The trick is, thank you for the follow, I have to find a suitable replacement, which I don't think is that hard. Just go size stainless steel key rings. All right, Barb, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. It's going to be a bit before I get to that project and have money to invest in replacing the rings that I have, but I think that's a better solution. I don't like, here's what one of the other things I don't like about scales, right? Using butted rings for scales. A lot of people, I think most people use butted rings for scales, and it's a lot less tedious. But I try to make everything I make so that I'll never have to repair it and I'll never have to worry about it and it'll last 150 years, right? That's my goal. Okay? And I've made some repairs of the stuff that I've made, but 95+% of the stuff that I've made is intact and acting as it should, whether it's a belt, a necklace, a bracelet, earrings. I've had a few people contact me about some items, but most of that stuff, no. So, like, if I'm going to use scales at all, I want, something that's not going to need repairs. So, I would prefer to use split rings than butted rings. But in the end, I may just give up since I'm not going to war anytime soon. It'll probably be fine. I'm probably making too much out of it, but I don't know. We'll see. And another thing, a third thing I don't care of why I don't care for scales. I can work in 1 or 2 colors maybe. Make keychains mostly out of crochet. Makes sense, yeah. to war. So there are stainless steel scales, which is what I have. And I have like some heat colored ones, like they were put under a flame and some color was added that way. They're small scales, and then regular size scales. And there are many other scales that come, like anodized titanium, anodized aluminum, many different colors that they come in, right? And I have difficulty with color. Color matching stuff is not something I have any skills at whatsoever. So it's like, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of scales, all these different colors, but I don't even know where to begin with them. Now, the Scale Mail Designer tool, I'm sure that would be helpful if I ever decide to make pieces out of scale mail. I'm sure that would help me with my color issue, but I haven't played with it enough recently to come up with a design I want to make, so maybe one day. Right? I just don't have a use for like a lot of multicolored rings or multicolored scales because I can't use them anyway. I can't combine them together to look good. As someone who took art for 6 years, color theory is hard. Yup. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's just, you know, and I'm not naturally inclined to think that way, so obviously with like where the Finnegan's Wake flag, right? I had some to work off of, right? Like the t-shirt they made with this design on it was green. The knot work is gold, and then I use silver for the black letters, but you know, that was a fairly easy, simple change for me to make. The Raiders flag I did black and gray. The Orca that I did, I had clear rings, clear engineered plastic rings, white engineered plastic rings, and black engineered plastic rings, right? So none of my inlays have like a lot of color really. That are like the Orca was pretty original. But the Finnegan's Wake flag is someone else's design. The Longhorns flag I did was someone else's, you know, the Longhorns design. University of Michigan, the Green Bay Packers, University of Miami, right? All those inlays had color already. It wasn't up to me. I just had to get, what do you call it? I just had to order the matching color from the supplier, right? How do you even use plastic rings? Well, that's a good question. I ordered some a long time ago to play around with. And my walls are kind of a blue-gray down here. And so it's a funny story. I was like, what's black and white and has water around it? Because I was going to use the clear rings with the blue background for an inlay so that it looked like water was behind it. And I was like, trying to figure out what's black and white and has water all around it. And I came up with orcas, right? At no point in making this decision did I ever think about like, oh, a skull and crossbones would look good. A Jolly Roger flag would look good. And I've got a wooden cutout of a female pirate hanging up on my wall. You would think that I would have come to the skull and crossbones much quicker, but no. So, engineered plastic rings are plastic, and they have a little I don't have any. Well, maybe I do. Hang on. Hang on just a moment. Oh, where'd it go? No. Maybe I put it back. Dang. I've got a bin full of like random rings, and I have a couple of those engineered plastic rings in there. But I made an inlay, and you can do whatever you want with them. The rings themselves, right? One end of the ring has a protrusion, and the other one has a place for that protrusion to be received, like a male end and a female end. And when you close them, they overlap each other, and you squeeze them together, and it holds itself in place. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So, I would like to get a 3D printer and design more styles of rings to see what works better. But I don't have a 3D printer. Maybe one day. Can't do it with this year's tax return because that's already spent. So I did have someone come on here and explain to me how cheap a Ender 3 Pro was, so we'll see where I'm sitting after I get my tax return and that whole fiasco. I used TurboTax. I couldn't file electronically. I had to mail in my tax return to the feds, and I couldn't file my state tax return until the federal offices had received my tax return and labeled it as filed. So it should have gotten there today, but who knows. Makerspace. I don't know if we have one of those in Kenosha. I don't know. That sounds like something I should franchise and build. That would be fun. I don't have the money to franchise anything, right? So it's just a pipe dream, but a makerspace sounds like something I've been talking about setting up for a while, though what I want to set up is more geared towards blacksmithing, glass blowing, chainmail, and I had a leather work, right? And just have like a front shop where you sell all the supplies, and in the back you can go and blow glass or, do any one of those things, right? They have 3D printers you can use. The library you're near has one. I want to learn glass stuff too, but I want to do that like outside of my house. I don't want to try and run a torch in here. Same with forging. I don't really have this. I have the space, but I don't have a shop, and I can't do it in my garage. So my initial setup, which I hope to get set up next year, is going to have to be movable from inside my shed to outside. Yeah. But the primary reason behind wanting to learn glass blowing is so that I can combine it with chainmail somehow. Right? Like, make a little, I don't have any here. This isn't a great example, but, you know. Let's see if I can turn this inside out. Come on. You know you want to. All right, take something like that. Okay, and then blow glass into here, and then you got yourself a shot glass, and I don't know. Scale it up, and you've got glass inside or you've got chainmail inside your glass. Make something out of glass, and then wrap chainmail around it somehow. I've done that with, I got one pottery piece over there. But just a means of combining, of doing mixed media, you know? What about glass dice, maybe? As a standalone, like just glass, or like glass and chainmail? I've seen people do lots of little chainmail pendant style D20 holders. So, and I don't know, I don't know how you would go about making glass dice and combine that with chainmail, but that's the whole point of having a setup where you have all of these media, like pottery, glass blowing, stained glass, did I say blacksmithing? Chainmail, leatherwork, right? Like you have all these medias in one place that are not readily available to do at home, right? Like blacksmithing and glass blowing. So that is what I have been talking about for some time, but I'm a long way off from ever being able to set that up, much less having the insurance to cover a place like that. So maybe one day. To go with chainmail pouches, D&D players would go crazy for that combo. There you go. Yeah, if you could combine the two, that would be pretty awesome. I do have some dice bags I need to get rid of. I need to get the anodizer, because this is titanium, and I want to put some color on this one. Right? So, we'll get there. We'll get there. I need my tax return to come in, and then figure out what I can do this year. I got a lot planned for just my basement this year, so. Got to get the anodizer, get the coiling and cutting set up so I can make my own rings relatively cheaply. There, come on. And then I've got a welder, little spot welder or a sparkle welder. You wish me luck with my tax return? Yeah, me too. I think I have to log back into TurboTax to see if the federal tax was returned, or to see if the federal tax return has made it, and then I can file the state one electronically, maybe? I'd have to go back and look. I don't know. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So, hopefully get that taken care of soon. And then, what was the other thing? Coiling, cutting setup, anodizer. Oh, finish my riveting setup that I'm putting together. Need a couple more tools for that. But I want to be able to make... I want to be able to work with and make any kind of ring, butted ring, split ring. What do you call it? Riveted ring, welded rings. Your dad owes $3,000 this year? Oh, that's the worst. Owing is the worst. I mean, it's not. You shoot for zero as often as possible, but I remember I turned in my paperwork to HR one time, and they didn't submit it, so I didn't have any taxes taken out for like 6 months. And then I got my tax return, and I owed. That HR lady got fired not long after that incident, so that whole place actually shut down about 2 years later. I think it was a nursing home, and I'm of the opinion that people buy nursing homes or invest in nursing homes to launder money. Your private nursing home that is owned by private individuals, I think they're just laundering money through there, giving the people who live there the minimum that they have to, required by law, and just pocketing all the rest. I could go into great detail about why I think that. It just seems like the two of the ones that I worked at when I first moved up here were very poorly ran. Hear you out. How about the government just takes what it needs instead of have us guess? Yeah, so TurboTax, H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, all of the tax companies, all of the, ones you do online and everything, they all help us with our tax returns every year, and we pay them, what, $200-$300 per return? And in return, they go lobby Congress and representatives to ensure that the IRS can't make it so that everyone knows what they need to pay. So I don't want to use those services. And after this last time, after I couldn't file electronically and I had to mail in my tax return and I still had to pay like $300 for both returns, I just want to start hunting down. I don't know if I can finish that sentence, actually, but it's not good. No one will ever change your mind. Mattress Firm, they are 100% front for laundering money. Oh, 100%. People just don't change out their mattress that often. Yeah, there's a few businesses like that. And hey, you know what? If you can... The federal government prints it all into oblivion. If you can launder as much of it as you can to get what's, to get what you can, I don't know. I don't know if I worry too much about that, but yeah, I think I can think of 3 within 10 minutes of me. Mattress stores. 2 of them are Mattress Firms. And they're right down the street from the other. It's like, what in the world's going on? Something's going on there. I don't know. But yeah. If you find yourself in a position where you need to open a mattress firm, don't feel bad about it. That's all I'm saying. Come on, there we go. Yes, the IRS should most certainly make it so that when tax time comes around, they go, this is what you owe, or this is how much you're getting back. Because they have a bunch of agents, and for what? Like, they already know how much we owe, or how much we'll get back. Not fixing that problem is a disservice to the American people. So, you finish your box weave bracelet, you don't know if it... Oh, good job. Right on. Congratulations. That's essentially what I'm adding to the outside of this full Persian chain here. Is box weave. But the box weave's not connected to itself, right? So you have one unit, you have a strip of full Persian. Every unit of full Persian is connected, right? And then you add one unit of box weave to one unit of full Persian, where the full Persian is connected, but the box weave isn't, right? It's kind of weird. Makes for this interesting weave that is working for this cube here, I guess. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, box weave and Byzantine and what else? The half Persians are good to learn. There are several chainmail artists who are just beyond advanced. They are masters of their craft, right? And you may look at this cube I'm making and go, wow, that's tedious. That's super cool. It's so complex, right? But like learning how to make a cube is not that hard, okay? And learning how to make sandworm is not that hard. It's not overly complicated. It's just very tedious, right? So like it's cool, but it's not that complicated, right? Whereas there are some chainmail artists who constantly blow my mind. It's like, holy crap, man. Like, I've definitely accomplished a lot in chainmail, right? But they are next level beyond me. So, one day, I don't know. I'm taking something simple and making it complex, right? Whereas they are developing whole new weaves. Whole new ways of connecting rings together. I feel like I mentioned the other night, I want to cheat and go and get ChatGPT to start writing me tutorials for weaves no one has ever heard of. With pictures from whatever the image generator can be used with ChatGPT. I'm gonna cheat. It's basically, that's my whole idea. People like Mel Pershall, Brilliant Twisted Skulls, Josh DiLiberto, constantly coming up with new stuff. It's nuts. You generally can't imagine making your own weave. They do it, right? Like, consistently. I've seen several new weaves from them. And here's the thing. I thought, I looked at all the resources, like chainmailers.com, Mail Artisans International League, all the tutorials that are out there, right? I was like, oh, all the weaves have been discovered. And no. Like, there are I think they've reduced it to a basic. There are 4 basic ways to connect rings. And from those 4 basic ways to connect rings are just thousands of ways, to make new weaves, right? So we are I don't know, like a fraction of the way there to knowing all the weaves. And, you know, theoretically, let's just call it magic. Yeah, 100%. I don't know how they do it. All right, let's add this ring here. It's yeah, they're I don't know if they're selling their souls for this knowledge or they're genuinely that talented. I think, you know, honestly, they are genuinely that talented. But it's like witchcraft, man. It's cool. And I'm very thankful for them because they are constantly pushing the narrative, not pushing the narrative, pushing the boundaries of what you can do, giving new ideas out to people. Right? Like I want someone to take a look at this and go, "Oh, I could do something like that," and then come up with their own thing, right? I want that to happen, and I think they want that to happen because while there are gatekeepers in the chainmail community, there's gatekeepers in every community, right? People are learning from each other all of the time. Uh-oh, what have I done here? Twisted it the wrong way. Okay. So I'm grateful for their ingenuity and their ability to come up with new stuff, and other people's ability to take what they have designed and push the boundaries of chainmail further. Because it gives me some to work with. And I go and I, you know, take a little snippet of it and try and make something cool out of it. Alright. That's on there. I gotta finish the box. You haven't stumbled upon any bad people in this community yet, though? I wouldn't say they're bad. I think I have the bad ones blocked, so I only deal with the good ones. So maybe my opinion isn't worth much, but most people are friendly and helpful and will point you in the direction that you need to go in. No one's ever like, "No, you can't do that. I won't tell you." For the most part. Unless they have some kind of like proprietary tutorial that they came up with for something that is all their own. They want you to buy the tutorial that they worked on. Right? Which I completely understand that. The good ones, you and Astrid. Just me and Astrid. No, I don't think I gatekeep at all. I don't want to gatekeep. I want to spread this hobby as far and wide as I can. And you think, oh, what a nice altruistic thing to do, to have such a carefree attitude about giving all this hard work away. But it's really like I have a dark secret. I want everybody to get addicted to making chainmail, and so that they want the chainmail aesthetic all throughout their lives, and they go to my store and they buy all my stuff. So that's my underhanded goal here. My evil intentions. Who doesn't want a chainmail jersey or a chainmail hooded blanket with designs on it? But don't tell anyone I told you that. That's our secret. I'm intentionally getting people addicted to making chainmail so that they buy my stuff. You started to call the crocheters at your... I'm glad I pronounced crocheters correctly. At your school, it's spreading like the plague around your school. Right on. What does my mother-in-law do? Does she crochet or does she knit? I don't know. She does something. She made these cute little animals. I don't know if it's crochet or knitting or what. But we got like a giraffe on the piano upstairs. She made a snowman for my kid. Cool stuff. But yeah. It's one of those things that I love chainmail because it allows me to work with my hands and I can talk while I do it, and it gives me a source of creativity with which to like expend my energy. Did she make it with 2 sticks? I have no idea how she made it. I would have to ask her. So all I know is that it's made from wool or yarn or something. I don't know. She could have like just microwaved it together. I don't know how she made it. You did order the Chainmail Joe box? Starting to get the hang of it? Right on. One of us. One of us. Sorry, I didn't mean to bang on the desk. Right on. Very happy for you. Hope you enjoy it. It's a cool box, huh? I just want to have the box. I was thinking last night, I need to order a box so that I can show people, like, hey, this is what you get from Chainmail Joe. It's a great starter kit. I should start telling people, like, if you go get the chainmail box, write in the comments, sent by Sean, send him a box so he can pimp your stuff. That's what I should do. Yeah, she just materialized it somehow. I don't know. A snowman and a giraffe. I do believe that she used 2 hooks to finish the snowman the last time she was here, or a couple times ago around Christmas time. I think I remember 2 hooks. I don't know. Because 2 hooks is knitting, 1 is crochet. Heck yeah, it is. The learning curve, though. So the learning curve goes like this. It's really steep, okay? And then it plateaus and starts to curve slowly upward, right? But that initial couple of days, weeks, months, you can start making really cool stuff in a very short amount of time. You should order the box only after you finish your scale mail. After, yeah. I keep telling myself I'll order supplies for stuff after I get done finishing all my projects in the basement. And what do I go and do? I order a bunch of stuff I don't need to finish this cube that I decided to make for some reason. Yeah, so this might be, I don't know, this might be too loose. I should probably add another layer and then judge from there. Let's see here. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's moving pretty good. I think it's cool. It's heavy too. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Cool. All right, 1 2x2 Ringception Sandwyrm jelly cube. Done. Now to move on to make it a 3x3. See if we get it a little tauter by adding some rings around the edges. So yeah, we'll do that. So there are 21 rings done. That means we need 74 more rings made. You want to know how heavy it is? That's not what I'm looking for. Here is a tool you will eventually need if you make chainmail long enough. Electronic calipers. It's a must-have. Right? You don't have to have them starting out. If you make chainmail your lifelong obsession like I have, another tool you will need is a kitchen scale. Let's weigh this thing. All right. It's 4 pounds, 12.3 ounces. So a little over 4.5 pounds. So what's... Hang on. Where's my calculator? Calculator. Actually, no. 4 3/4 pounds. 4.75 divided by 21 equals multiplied by 9.5 equals. So this should weigh, when I get to a 3x3x3 cube, it should weigh 21.5 pounds roughly. And if you do get addicted to chainmail and want to make it your life's hobby, like I have, where all you do is spend all day in your basement opening and closing rings together in various patterns to make random stuff, I definitely recommend it for starters. But also, the inside the Mailworks app is a list of tools, suggested tools that are the, what do you call it? If you buy them from my affiliate link, that's what it is. My Amazon affiliate link, I'll get, I don't know how much I'll get. I'll get a little bit, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. This is called Sandwyrm. It is a strip of full Persian surrounded by box. Seems better than an office job? 100%. I think so. I've never had an office job, though. I spent my career in the medical field. So, I don't know anything about offices or working in one. All right, let's start another ring. Okay. I literally worked in a bunch of different places, from hematology, oncology, the burn unit, pediatrics, step down, ICU, cardiac cath. No real emergency room experience, but I did home health, I did nursing home care. My last job was doing home health driving to people's homes and doing dressing wound dressing changes for their wounds and stuff like that. Not a bad job, but I've been out of the field. Like, I still have a license and everything. And if I wanted to get back into medicine, I would have to go get a CPR card. But I've been out for like 2 years now, so I don't plan on going back anytime soon. I plan on sitting here at my desk, opening and closing rings for the next 40 years. All right. That might change if I get TikTok famous. I don't know what I'd do if I got TikTok famous, but all right, come on, give me the ring. Screw you. Oh, screw you. What time is it? 9:20. Man, like, these rings are only 176 small rings to make one large ring, and I don't know why, but they take forever. Normally I can do about 200 rings an hour on this cube, right? And for some reason, I'm taking like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do one of these rings. I don't know. As a frequent flyer in the medical field, you don't think you'd ever do it? It's not a field I recommend going into, to be honest. Not at this point. Find anything else. Though there's not a lot of fields I would recommend at this point anyway. They all seem pretty garbage. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. There's a saying where nurses eat their young, right? And that was always true while I was in, and my understanding is that when COVID hit and a lot of the nurses, the older nurses who had a ton of experience, left because they didn't want to get the shot. And so nursing has had a brain dump. The medical field had a brain dump, right? And so now you have younger nurses eating their own. And it's going to take forever to recover from that. So chainmail, that's a field you would recommend? Yes, but don't do what I'm doing, right? Where I try to sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. Not because I don't want competition, just because, like, it's very hard. There's a lot of audience education on it. There are very successful chainmail artists who they have a lot of really good designs, and they work every week on filling out their table, and they do the hustle and grind every week, and they have a show 3 weeks out of every month at minimum, sometimes all 4 weekends. What I'm doing is counterproductive to being successful. I will be successful eventually. But that takes a lot of, like, exposure and audience education and money in marketing and advertising and whereas you can get everything you need for a booth for less than $1,000, go to an event in your area, you know, make all the stuff you want, go to an event in your area, and you can have yourself a couple of good weekends. You know, not every show is a success or anything, but It's like the people who I see succeeding at chainmail monetarily are the people who are hustling and grinding every week and going to events every weekend, right? There are 3,000 rings in this. This has taken me several hours so far. And I don't know if I could ever sell it, right? Even when it's finished at a 3x3. I don't know if I could ever sell this to someone, okay? They are analyzing their markets, looking at what sells, making more of what sells in more colors and more options. They're doing a whole lot more as far as figuring out their audience than, you know, just sitting here on the internet blabbing my jaw, blabbing their jaw. You seem pretty successful to me. Just being able to live off it is amazing. Yeah, I mean, this is not my only source of income. Let me put it that way. It is how I make my money. It is not how I make all of my money. So I am a disabled vet with 100% disability, so. You're worried you would just want to keep everything you make? I have a whole windowsill full of stuff that I've made. And I like to keep a lot of it. Right? But that is because I wanted to make stuff for myself, right? Like, I made myself chainmail shirts. I made myself chainmail jewelry. I made myself chainmail belts. My own dice bags, all custom made how I wanted. And I wrapped each and every one of my coffee cups in chainmail. You know, because that's definitely how I started out. I was just learning to make stuff and making stuff for myself. So I didn't have a large amount of sales till I did a booth with a friend of mine down at the Texas Renaissance Festival, and I sold a decent amount of stuff there. But all the rest of it's been word of mouth. People who see something I'm working on and they want one, or see something I'm wearing and they want one. I'm not going out and running a booth every month, though with my apparel, I'm very tempted to do that. Do I think I'll ever go to the Maryland Renaissance Festival? I was up there once. That was my first Renaissance Festival. I got to see a hypnotist, a sword swallower, and we went to some other thing. That was back in 2004. I would love to go to the Maryland Renaissance Festival again. It's a decent festival. I had a good time. But I live 10 minutes away from Bristol, here in Kenosha. So that's the one I pretty much go to. I'm going to try and go this year, but I think it starts at the end of June and goes till the end of August. I gotta look at the dates. But the problem with the Maryland Renaissance Festival is getting out there. Right? Like, I would go if I was out there for something. I probably would not travel just to go to the Renaissance Festival. I don't know anyone that lives out there to go visit. Be like, yo, I'm going to crash on your couch. I'm going to go to the Renaissance Festival. You know what I mean? the Maryland Renaissance Festival had a shop, and I walked into it, and there were like 500 different types of honey on the wall. And when I mean like different types, like they were all different shades of golden amber, and you know, some were like deep dark brown, some were purple, and it was all like custom based off of the flower that the bees were pollinating. The honey place is still there. Right on. So that was like, I still remember that to this day, and that was 20 years ago. Just how awe-inspiring it was. You're just kind of in shock when you just like, holy crap, that is a lot of honey. You were there last year? Right on. I've got, what have I got? Got Maryland Renaissance Festival, Texas Renaissance Festival, Sherwood Forest Fair, and Bristol Renaissance Festival that I've been to. You know, I'd go to others, but it's so hard to get out to the one I live by. I think this year, though, I'm going to take an Uber up to the front gate. Well, we'll see. I'm going to get my saddlebags done. They'll be covered in chainmail, right? And that would be cool to ride the motorcycle up to the front of the Renaissance Festival with the chainmail covered saddlebags. And if I don't do that, because I'm going to take my kid to the Ren Fair, we'll take an Uber up to the front gate. You got 200 honey straws. 200 honey straws. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Right on. You want to go to one that's during the winter? Yeah. Ours is the middle of summer. And like, our winter is freezing cold, 100% humidity. It's gross, right? There's 2 feet of frozen iceberg snow on the ground. Like, you just have this glacial ice that sits there for months at a time. And it wasn't bad last year. It really wasn't bad this year, so knock on wood. Hey, Hayden, how you doing? Thanks for the follow. And so, like, everything in Wisconsin, either it's indoors during the winter, but if it's outside, you know, it's 100% humidity here because we're 2 miles off the lake during the summer, so it can get pretty miserable. Yeah, I don't remember what time of year. I mean, it's September, October time frame, but I don't remember which month I went. It was 20 years ago, so I have grown and become a man since then. Had a child of my own. Had an entire career since I was last at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. You can't with hot weather? I don't mind hot weather. I just don't like hot and humid, right? So if we have a nice 75-degree breezy day, that's a great day to go to the Renaissance Festival. And we have those fairly often during the summer. Hayden, I am making okay, this is a jelly cube, right? Each ring has 4 rings going through it, and it's very jelly. Very fun. What I'm currently working on, this piece down here, is one of these rings. And I'm connecting these rings together to make a much larger jelly cube. That hopefully it'll wiggle a little more when it's all done. A little more structured. So it's kind of holding its shape right now. I think a 3x3 will do some good. Has to take a long time. Yeah, each of these individual rings I'm working on is taking me like an hour and a half. And there's 21 in here, and I need 95. Well, no. I have 21 done. I need 74 more. So this cube has 14,000 rings in it. Right? 14,000 individual rings. And I have about 100 hours into it. And I will have about 300 hours by the time I'm done. So it does take a long time. But the end result, hopefully, is pretty cool. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it's pretty cool. Like, for example, this is the third iteration of... It's supposed to look like my logo, right? And it kind of does. I might adjust it one more time. But it took me 3 tries to get here. You have to have a lot of free time to do that. This is my occupation. This is my job. I make chainmail and I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. You still want to take a bite of the cube? Why is biting the cube such a thing? Right? Of the comments that I got on my jelly cube video that went viral, I think it's at like 1.9 million views now, which is very cool. That's amazing that that happened. But there were, for as many comments as there were about purchasing the cube, there were probably double the amount of comments stating that they wanted to bite the cube. It looks edible. Well, it tastes like metal and is very hard. I did a video for that and discovered that, I mean, you could probably eat it, but I'm not going to try it. I have had many requests to make a cube so that it gets shot with a firearm. But that's going to take a pretty large cube. And so, if I can get rings in... Alright, this is the big cube. This is also going to be a big cube, but the ring sizes are different, as you can see. Right? So if I can get these larger rings in stainless steel, I might think about making one to be shot at, just for a video, right? It's a lot of work for a video, but Pixie Locks, they want to bite the cube because it might be the same group that requires car manuals to include the warning not to drink the battery water. That's also a lot of work just to shoot. It is. It is. But there's a lot of videos of people shooting through chainmail with arrows, like butted and riveted chainmail. Butted I can understand. Riveted withstands arrows a little better. I want to make some welded chainmail to shoot with an arrow to see what happens. And then maybe we'll just like layer chainmail 8 or 9 layers deep and see if you can shoot through it with a firearm. Like just a regular Euro 4-in-1 pattern. But also, you know, we can shoot a cube maybe. I don't know. Oh, I ruined it. I ruined it. So there are, Hayden, there are multiple suppliers at this point. There's We've Got Mail. Weave is W-E-A-V-E and mail is M-A-I-L-L-E. There's Chain Reaction Canada, chain-reaction.ca. There's Chainmail Joe. There's Tom's Rings. There's The Ring Lord. There's Metal Designs. if you're interested in purchasing some rings and you want to go check out suppliers, you can go to the link tree in my bio and download the Mailworks app. It's free, and it's got all the resources I would have wanted when I first got started making chainmail a really long time ago. And in there is the list of all the suppliers I am aware of that make chainmail quality rings, right? You don't want to order rings off of Temu or Amazon there, or get them from Michaels, okay? Because they're crap. So download the app. Check out the suppliers. If you want to order rings but you don't know what ring size, several of the suppliers sell kits, right? And get yourself a little kit and try it out. If you want a really nice kit, check out the starter kit from Chainmail Joe. Comes in a lovely box with inside, it's got a tutorial booklet and a bunch of different ring sizes, and I believe it comes in both bright aluminum and anodized aluminum. It's an excellent starter kit for chainmail, and you have the option to purchase pliers at the same time or not. I think the kit by itself is like $100 or something. Last time I checked, I could be wrong. Last you checked, chainmail was for protection from slashing. Yes, mind you, my chainmail experience is jewelry, so maybe it's not up to. No, it is best against slashing. The question, I suppose, is not whether or not chainmail stops arrows. It can if the arrow's coming in at the right angle, but dead on from a powerful enough bow, it's probably not going to stop it, whether it's butted or riveted. I haven't seen anyone try welded, but I imagine that would do about as well as the riveted. The only other suggestion I could make is for, and I could do this too, to make a patch of chainmail from split rings, from key rings. And that's not, like, welded rings and split rings are not historically accurate, but the goal is to just see if you can make chainmail that is arrow resistant, right? So that's all the point, or that's all the question is at this point, right? Oh. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Come on. Give me the ring. So, like, is regular chainmail not going to be bullet resistant? Okay. It's not bulletproof. I remember 20 years ago when a lot of people thought it was. A lot. The cube is layers of chainmail. You know, it's one right after the other. There are 28 layers in this cube. This is aluminum, so I don't think it would... Like, I believe a bullet would just pass right through this. But a cube of similar size, made from stainless steel, might have a fighting chance. Might. I don't know. So... it would be very time consuming and expensive, but also it might just be worth it just to see if the cube catches the bullets, right? That would be cool. And that's almost, having a cube with a bullet hole in it is almost as cool as having a cube. So I'd probably be willing to do it despite the time cost. What all do I make? I don't know. It's kind of whatever I feel like. I've done armor. I've done jewelry. I do a lot of decorative pieces. And I'm moving on to large chainmail sculptures. Like this behemoth. I've made wallet chains. I've made a lot of those. Let's see here. I don't even have my wallet chain down here to show you. But yeah, I have made wallet chains before. How much are they? Trying to think. I don't really have any supplies on hand to make one. Yeah. So, of the designs of wallet chains, of the chains of wallet chains that I've made, right? The rings that I've used for that has pretty much all been used up at this point. So I don't have the supplies on hand. Shoot me a message, right? And I will look around. Have I ever made a wallet? No, I haven't. Looking for 12 to 14 inches of wallet chain. Okay, send me a, shoot me a message, right? I can hook you up. I have rings that will work very well for a wallet chain. The question is, do I have enough? But we'll figure that out. 12 to 14 inches is pretty short for a wallet chain. I think mine is 18. I don't know. I'll get you a picture somehow. Like on Instagram or Facebook or something. But shoot me a message. I'll hook you up with a wallet chain if you want one. But Hayden, no, I've never made a wallet. I've got a bunch of leatherworking friends that make cool wallets, and I've never had the money to be able to purchase one from them. Maybe someday. Are you on Facebook as Hillbilly Customs? That way I can try and remember to look you up too. That reminds me, the other night we had Marcia in here, and Marcia said that she was 75 years old and she was looking for some rings for her purse, and I told her that to try and connect with me on Facebook, and she never did. I'm on Facebook under this username as well if you want to look me up. And in fact, everyone go open up in a new tab. If you're not on your phone, go to your laptop and go follow me on all my socials. They're in my link tree. But don't do it in this tab. Stay here. Don't go away, but also go follow me. I always forget to give people that option whenever I'm like signing off for the night. But yeah, we had this sweet little old lady who was in here talking with us, and she wanted some rings to fix her purse, and I was like, yeah, I will send you some rings, but she never got in touch with me, so I feel bad. Nothing I can do. You made a derpy necklace and it saved your life? What, like derpy isn't just like goofy? Or is derpy like a style that I'm unfamiliar with because I'm old? What is this slang term? What do the children mean? I used to be young and cool until they changed what cool was. It'll happen to you. You sent me a message? Right on. I'll get you hooked up with a wallet chain. I've got some cool clasps still. You mean it was all crooked and bent? A crooked and bent necklace saved your life. How did it save your life? That sounds scary. You got shot 3 times. Oh no. And you used the crooked and bent necklace as a tourniquet? What is going... This is a wild story. I'm here for it. Tell me. How did you utilize... The necklace caught the bullets? My skepticism is a little high right now. What do you mean it caught the bullets? I'm very confused. Like, I don't not believe you. I'm just very confused as to what's going on. How did the necklace catch the bullets? Like, it was just in the way? Because that would be crazy. Well, I suppose it's not going to let... The necklace isn't going to, like, reach out and catch the bullet, so it had to be in the way, right? I'm waiting on the edge of my seat. Okay, so the necklace was in the way, and... What kind of material was this necklace made from? That's intense. No, I mean, I've heard and seen stranger things, right? So while I was in Iraq, we had a guy get shot in the head and have the bullet rip around his Kevlar helmet, right? Completely missing his dome. You have problems making accurate tops for a 34 Triple D bikini. Any tips? Okay. So with something that size, trying to think. I'm gonna base this off of what I've heard other people talk when they make bikini tops, right? Getting the cup fit right and making the straps adjustable and comfortable are like the two most important things. The last time I was involved with anyone making tops, they were attaching the tops to a bra to make sure they fit. So that's one way to go about it. Like, it didn't look like a bra when it was done, but it was a bra. Alright, you think of using a dress form mannequin? I would absolutely recommend a mannequin. Look up darts, they are mostly a sewing technique, but it might be useful. Yeah. And you can... Excuse me. With contractions and expansions or seams, you know, you can make a cup to fit any size of boobage. So as long as you get the cup size right and the straps are adjustable and comfortable, I think that those are probably the two biggest complaints I've heard. Other than that, I've made one shirt for a girl and one bikini top for a girl, and that was years ago. So I don't have a lot of experience in like trying to match cup size. I mean, if someone asked, I don't even know how I would go about doing it necessarily, because I like to make things more complicated than necessary. Collecting bottles, eventually I'm going to make a page on Facebook and sell some. Right on. I love bottles. I have several bottles that I've wrapped in chainmail. Two of them are antique bottles from Astoria, Oregon, which is where the Goonies was filmed. I visited the Goonies house. That was fun. You obviously know your craft, but the right-hand power grip is tough for you to accept. This camera's reversed. This is my left hand, but is that what you're referring to? Having one pair of pliers upside down? I don't know how people do it like this. I don't get it. Oh, I need to put some oil on here. If you ever start making chainmail and your pliers start... Well, now it's not doing it. If they start making a squeaky sound, little 3-in-1 oil works great. Yeah, I don't know why I do it this way. No one taught me this, right? I saw my uncle doing it, and he held his pliers like this, right? So, somewhere along the line of when I was first starting out 28 years ago, where I had just seen my uncle make chainmail, and I was like, oh my god, holy cow, I can make chainmail at home. And I was like a little nerd reading fantasy books and whatnot. You always use lithium grease. Is it white lithium grease? That will work too. I think I have a tube of that somewhere. Yeah, white lithium grease is great. White lithium grease is great stuff. Put it on everything metal. Especially if it's not stainless steel. Spanky, I do sell some stuff. But I got some bracelets for sale right now. Some dice bags. One or two dice bags. And then, what else do I have for sale? I don't know. Stuff. Oh, so yeah, why do I hold my pliers like this? I don't know. Somewhere along the lines of when I first got started, this became a habit somewhere in there, and it just stuck. Put white lithium grease on everything, got it. How does it taste on pancakes? Excellent. But no, for real, white lithium grease, like, put it on your vices, put it on your blocks of steel, put it on your knives, on your, if you've got, like, some Damascus stuff, put it on there. I have a bunch of stuff in the basement, and it kind of gets a little rusty glint to it, but I put lithium grease on everything, and have not had a problem since. Tastes alkaline. All right. And for anyone else watching, this is not the correct way to hold pliers, right? One upside down, one right side up. The correct way to hold pliers is in a manner in which you can manipulate the ring without losing your grip on the ring and like possibly hurting yourself. And in a manner where the motion that you're doing opening and closing rings is comfortable for you and doesn't cause like a repetitive motion injury or tendinitis or carpal tunnel. You're losing part of your tooth right now and you're bleeding everywhere. Your mouth is full of blood. Teeth bleed a lot. You should spit the blood out. I am so sorry that happened. That is a shocking statement. First he gets shot 3 times and now his mouth is full of blood. Hayden, you live a wild life, dude. But if you just had a tooth pop out, yeah, they bleed a lot. Put some pressure on it, it'll stop. Currently working on your 5th suit of mail. Half stainless washers, half welded stainless rings. Nice. It's gonna be a good suit. How many rings? Like, and what, like, ring size? Using like 1/2-inch washers and the zombie apocalypse suit? Right on. I want to get a Neptunic shark suit for the zombie apocalypse. Not because I'll ever go diving with sharks, right? But they're $7,500, and I just want to have one because I love chainmail and I love collecting stuff that is chainmail. Like stuff from other chainmail artists and stuff like that. If you're not living a dangerous life, then you're not having fun. I mean, did you like get punched in the mouth and then your mouth started bleeding? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Or did you just have a bad tooth? Yeah? Or you got punched in the mouth? Okay. And your tooth came out. Well, keep the tooth in milk. If it's not shattered, keep the pieces in milk. Or if it is shattered, keep the pieces in milk. And get them to your dentist so they can hopefully put it all back together for you. All right. So here. Yes, working on a shawl type thing with scale and chain and fighting the back of it. Okay, you're working on a shawl type thing with scale and chain and fighting the back of it. Is the problem it's not sitting correctly in the back? Like you need to add an expansion or a contraction or something? It's not fitting correctly? You got your wisdom teeth removed like 3 weeks ago. You actually got to keep the teeth. Man, I had to have all my wisdom teeth like hammered out of my skull. I was like 14 and I didn't have any anesthesia, just lidocaine numbing agent, and it wore off and the dentist wouldn't give me more, and it took them 3.5 hours to get all my teeth out. And I was very tough and I didn't cry until the last 15 minutes and I shed a single tear down my eye. And after that, I like don't want to go to the dentist ever again. But you think you scaled the expansion wrong and it's rolling? You might need to, I don't know, I would have to look at it without making a recommendation, but it sounds like you might need to add more expansions if it's rolling. But I would, before I said anything, I would want to look at it for sure. That looks tedious. It is a little tedious. I tell you. So, I bought a bag of rings this big. There's a few thousand rings in here. And I was adding them to this cube, and it just became a grind. Because I was doing it like all day, every day, trying to get through this bag, or another bag that's now empty, right? And all the rings are on here. It was such a grind. Yes, I felt very bad for myself when I was 14 and had my wisdom teeth removed for forever. Have I ever gone turkey hunting? No. I've been fishing. I've never really been hunting. My dad was not a hunter. We did everything else outside. Whitewater rafting, skiing, mountain biking, hiking, camping, all kinds of outdoor stuff. But my dad was not a hunter, so I never grew up doing any of that. Yeah, we have turkey hunting here in Wisconsin, so I want to see here. Turkey and deer hunting. My neighbor goes deer hunting every year. Come on, let go. You hate making repetitive large projects because you get bored of it? You've never made a cube? Making a cube out to 6, 7, 8 layers is reasonable. 10 is pretty tedious. Excuse me. Yeah, a 10 by 10 by 10 cube is pretty tedious. But it's not, I don't know. You can just kind of sit there and zone out and weave and BS, and I have to go turkey hunting. You're going to take me turkey hunting one day? Right on. I mean, I have, what do I have? I got a 30-30 upstairs. I have shotguns. I do a lot of, not a lot, but a lot of clay shooting. I did start off making my own rings as a kid. I don't think the Ring Lord was a thing, and they were like the only large supplier for the longest time that I was aware of. I don't know of anyone making chainmail rings specifically before. This cube is 14 layers, or 14 rows, so every other ring here is one row, and it's 14 rows across, and I'm taking this out to 20. You like working on projects while we're watching shows like Lord of the Rings? In order to get this out to 20 rows, I have to triple the amount of rings in here. This is 14,000 rings, and to get it out to 20, it's 44,000 rings. So, okay. So I like working on stuff while watching movies. I've got a space for a TV over there. That is part of the goal this year, is to get a TV in this space for the TV. And I tried to watch The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings just a couple weeks ago, and I have them on Vudu, and Vudu was not working. I was very upset. How much for a cube? If you are serious about looking for a cube, the two people I've been recommending are Astrid Wolf. She has cubes that are like have anodized aluminum, so they've got colors and patterns and stuff. So she's been doing that. And then the other person is Wayward and Whimsical, also known as Mother of Dragons, on here on TikTok, and they come highly recommended by me. They're excellent chainmail artists, but those would be the people. If you want something like this, this is not for sale, but if you would want to make, if you commission someone to make some cube this size, right? Probably in the realms of like $3,000 to $3,500, maybe less. I don't know. I'd have to price it out, but this is 100 hours plus. How much in materials? $4 an ounce. This is 1 pound, 4 ounces, so it's 20 ounces times 4. It's $80. So 80 plus shipping and handling is $100 in materials, and then 100 hours of 100 hours of labor. Audiobooks for Made for Chainmail Weaving. Yep. Is the cube squishy? Kind of. Right? It's squishy until it's not. Like once you put it, it's rock hard right there. Right? Once everything's flexed out of it. I do have plenty of shotgun ammo. Yeah, there's 14,000 rings in this, right? And it just takes, it's labor intensive to put this together. Do I have camo? No, I don't have camo. Alright, so where are we at here? It is 10 o'clock. Alrighty. So, where's my camera here? We got 21 rings done. This is getting cooler the more I add to it, right? It's going to be cool. This is a 2x2 Sandwyrm Ringception jelly cube. Only one in existence. Only one ever made. I don't know. Maybe someone else has done something similar, but it should take on a little bit better shape as we add rings to it. It's pretty jelly, right? I think it's going to work. Okay. I've got supplies coming in for it to get it out to 3x3x3 cube. So That'll be 17,000 rings. I'm going to keep an eye on the Ring Lord, and if I can get this to a 3x3x3 cube, and the Ring Lord pops up with more rings in this size in a timely manner, I might order more rings. I would like to make this a 5x5x5 cube, right? Which is 96,000 rings. Okay? So it's not a project that's going to finish itself anytime soon. I got a lot of other stuff to do. You've never made the sandworm weave? It's on Male Artisan's website as B8FP, or it's under Sandwyrm, right? And what it is, it's a strip of full Persian, and it's got box weave around it, right? But each unit of box weave doesn't connect to the next unit. It only connects to the full Persian. So it's, if you got the right ring size, it's kind of a fun little weave. I was going to try and make a dragon scale pine cone thing out of it, but it's not rigid enough for that, so I got to find something else. But it is 10 o'clock, guys. Got some good stuff done. We're making some progress, little by little each night. That's another thing, too. I get a little bit of stuff done each day. And if you're going to start making chainmail, that's the most important thing to understand, is that if you only open and close 10 rings a day, you know, on a small project that's making you feel a little like you don't want to work on it, if you just work on it a little bit a day, not only will your motivation come back to work on that project and to finish it, and you'll get a ton done in one sitting, but the project will eventually get finished. Okay? I don't know how many hours I worked on this on stream, but it's pretty much done. The Finnegan's Wake flag, hundreds of hours on that. It's getting, now that we got the rings for it, it's going to get done. So, you know, just keep showing up every day with your little projects, work on them a little bit, and they'll eventually, it'll feel like they finished themselves. Unless you're working on these for like 12 hours a day, because it does turn into a grind. But other than that, it is 10 o'clock. I do have some stuff I have to do before I go to bed. It is a school night. I can't stay up late tonight. You are all wonderful, beautiful, lovely people, and I cannot wait to see you all again. Please go to my link tree and follow me on my socials. I would really appreciate that. That helps me grow the channel on all platforms, especially if TikTok goes away, God forbid. Please, if you are looking to get into chainmail, go to the link tree and download the Mailworks app. It's got all the resources I would have wanted when I first got started making chainmail almost 30 years ago. Where to find suppliers, where to find where people who make chainmail hang out online, where to find tutorials, what tool recommendations do I have, and more. I'm going to be adding more stuff to the app as time goes on. What time will I be live tomorrow? I go live 8:30 to 10 Central Standard Time most nights of the week. So I'm trying to fit a day stream in. It hasn't worked out so far, but I'll figure that out eventually. But that's what I shoot for, 8:30 to 10 Central Standard Time. I streamed all weekend, so, but, you know, I do have a life and a family that they need attention to. I can't be down here all the time. So, with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Please go follow me on my socials. Oh, if you are just interested in purchasing something made from chainmail, Ashard Wolf, Wayward and Whimsical are two creators that I've tagged a lot in various videos. So if you are looking for them and can't find them, go look at my videos and you'll find them tagged in there somewhere. But they take custom requests and do orders for stuff, and they probably have stuff for sale already. In fact, I know they do. Or you can download the Mailworks app. There's a whole list of artists in there that all take requests and do custom work. So I'm not set up to take requests or do custom work, but like Someone contacted me earlier about a wallet chain. I'm pretty sure I can accommodate that, and that's not too time consuming. So I do occasionally take commissions, just not usually. It really depends on what it is. So if you're looking for stuff, specific stuff like cubes, Astrid, and Wayward and Whimsical. Other than that, guys, appreciate you hanging out. I'm going to get out of here. You all have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you all again later. All right, you all have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye, boys.